good, the bad, and the gossip with John, Jay, and Rich.
All right, let's do some GBG. It's everything entertainment. Kyle, queen of entertainment news. Gallimbo.
Do you guys recognize this?
Coldplay.
I do not.
It's the Downton Abbey theme song.
Oh.
No, I do not.
It's a good thing we didn't recognize that. We lost our dude cards.
I will never recognize that name.
Well, I played this because word has it, George Clooney and his fiancée, Amal, actually want to get married in the castle featured in Downton Abbey. Apparently, she's a huge fan of the show. Clooney surprised her last week by whisking her away on a private tour of the castle. She was blown away by its glory, and apparently George Clooney gets what he wants, and this may be the site of their wedding. Although some are saying, well, one in particular, that this wedding or this marriage may not last longer than Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's. And it happens to be one of Amal's former boyfriends, we'll call him. His name is Ethan Christopher. He dated her back at Oxford University. And the tabloids got a hold of him a little bit before her offices got a hold of him, asking him to respect her privacy. But before he, zipped his mouth shut, he did give some details, dirt, if you will, on George Clooney's fiance. He said, look, she was beautiful, but really difficult to live with. This girl is extremely argumentative. I'm sure that's one of the traits that made her a world-class lawyer. That's what attorneys do all day. They argue. But she couldn't turn it off at home. She was far more intelligent and didn't mind letting me know whenever I was doing something not quite as smart as her. At times, she was downright condescending. And for someone like George Clooney, I'm not sure if he will enjoy that for a long period of time. He may enjoy it at first because it's something he's not used to, but this ex of hers thinks that that's not going away. That's just how she is. And so if he can handle that, it may work. If not, it could be curtains quickly for this couple. Now, one couple in Charleston, South Carolina was getting married, not a famous couple, and the guy was out on his bachelor party with a bunch of his buddies. While they're at the bar, they spot Bill Murray randomly there, and of course his signature vest, right? And the guys are like, dude, it would be awesome if you could come give the bachelor a word of advice. And at first he was like, I don't think so, man. But then something changed his mind because he walked up to the guys in the bachelor party and he said, look, you know how funerals are not really for the dead, they're for the living. Bachelor parties are not for the groom, they're for the unmarried. So I don't have advice for the groom. I have advice for every other single guy here at the bachelor party.
I recommend to you. Incredible. If you have someone that you think is the one, don't just sort of think, okay, let's make a date, let's plan this and make a party and get married. Take that person and travel around the world, all around the world, and go to places that are hard to go to and hard to get out of. And if when you come back and you're still in love with that person, get married at the airport.
Married at the airport. Only after you've weathered
That's some
the
pretty
trip.
good advice.
Have you ever, he has all boys. Have you ever seen him interviewed about his kids?
No.
Every time he gets an interview about his kids, and he usually doesn't like to talk about it, and he always breaks down and starts bawling his brains out. Every time.
Like that
You should
guy.
Google it and try to find it. It's pretty touching video.
Oh, so speaking of weddings, big wedding happened over the weekend. Jay Z and Beyonce did not show up to Kim Ye's wedding. And of course, now everybody's wondering, what's the deal? What happened? Because supposedly they were going to be there and Jay Z was going to be the best man and whatever. And as of now, all we have is speculation. One insider is saying it didn't really mean a whole lot. It just means they didn't want to schlep their asses from the Hamptons to Paris where they were on display. It's a long trip. It's exhausting. They didn't want to be exhausted, so they figured they'd send a nice gift, send their well wishes, and that was it. Another source says that it just wasn't worth it. The crowd there wasn't elite enough for Jay Z and Beyonce, and they were worried about the seating schedule. They didn't want to sit with B-listers and C-listers that are Kim's friends. They're a little too good for that. But like I said, at this point, it's all speculation. Now, there's another inside source that's talking about Beyonce and Jay Z's marriage and saying that maybe they didn't want to go because their own marriage is on the rocks. I don't buy into that theory.
It's a pretty big leap.
It's definitely a big leap. But
It's not a big leap after you see Beyonce just sit there while Solange starts kicking the crap out of Jay Z. It's not a big leap.
This is what I'm going into. They say Solange is kind of revealing some inside information on their relationship and saying that their marriage is completely crumbling. The only reason Jay Z and Beyonce show up in public together is to show the world that they're doing just fine, but on the inside, they have some major, major issues happening. And I know it's on the cover cover of one tabloid this week. Beyonce and Jay Z's $1 billion divorce. Although neither one of them have filed papers.
Well,
or
I
anything
heard
like
that there's a couple of things she does that gets on his nerves. Like I've heard before, like you could overhear in another room him going, "It's surfboard, not surfboard," and he's just fed up. Pet peeve.
He's over it. He's over
That's
it.
funny.
On our website right now, johnjaneandrich.com, if you go there and type in the keyword GBG, you can watch the video of Bill Murray crashing the bachelor party. And Jessica Simpson is showing off her body. She looks amazing. She posted a couple of, not bikini, but swimsuit pictures the other day, and she looks really good. You can check those out on our website.
Daisy Duke really good?
Her legs look amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
She
yeah.
looks really good, Daisy
Oh,
Duke.
yeah. johnjaneandrich.com, keyword GBG.